Can Ghrush the Mangler nuke? Is he worth building on your own account? And if he is worth building, where do you want to be using this freebie epic champion? Is he even worth building out? Well, I will say that he brings a hell of a lot of healing and defensive power in his kit. Brings a leech debuff with a 75% land rate on his A1, which is nothing to sniff at. Brings all kinds of healing on an attack all enemy skill on his A3. And then on the A2, 4-turn cooldown, 100% land rate on an attack all enemy skill. Chance of placing strong decrease attack debuff or a 25% decrease crit damage debuff for a couple of turns. Interesting champion. Kinda slept on a little bit, in my opinion. Is he all of that? Can he nuke? Let's get to it, man. Before we get started, new promo link time, man, with some much improved epic champions. If you're looking to start off a new Raid Shadow Legends account in 2025, then make sure that you get it done by clicking on my beginner promo link, which you can find down below at the top of the video description box. Just click on that link, use it to create a new Raid Shadow Legends account, and you're going to be getting yourself a free legendary starter champion in the form of Elnaril, as well as some insanely powerful free epic champions on that account, as well as you level your account up. This right here is the webpage that link down below is going to take you to, so when you click on that link, use this webpage to create your new account, and you will know that the link has worked once you've completed the tutorial on your new account, and Elnaril is waiting for you in your inbox. And alright, man, let's get back to the video. How do I have my Ghrush the Mangler built out? Well, he doesn't have a relic, and his gear is a little bit hodgepodge. I'm just focusing on trying to get him moving pretty fast. He's at like 210 speed, so relatively fast, I guess, for my account. Decent amount of defense and about 340 accuracy. Now, another thing you can do on Ghrush the Mangler is actually put him in some crit rate gauntlets and get up his crit rate quite a bit, and that can benefit his A3, which will then place an additional 7.5%, so the weak version of continuous heal buff on all allies for 1 turn if at least one enemy is hit with a crit by this skill. So if you want to cash in on that little bit of extra healing, you can build him with crit rate gauntlets. For me, I'm not even sure if that's worth it. That's a tiny amount of healing. You could be putting those stats into just more defensive stats as sort of like an alternative. I'm not sure which one's better. So first things first, man. Ice Golem. We're going to address the elephant in the room here, right? Ghrush has a 4.1 rating in-game in Ice Golem in the in-game reviews, and I think the reasoning for that is mostly because of the inconsistency of his A2, right? It has a chance of placing decreased attack or decreased crit damage. Can't be landing both. And so this is the Ice Golem team we're going to be giving him a trial out in. Bunch of champions here, bunch of freebies, plus just a 4 times empowered Deacon Armstrong just to give us the AoE decreased defense, just get us through the waves a little bit faster. Let's see what we can do. We're putting all of the weight of this team's survival pretty much on Ghrush the Mangler. Now, that's not exactly true. We're getting a strengthen buff as well from the Morag, which is going to reduce damage taken by a little bit as well. But as far as all of the healing goes, and the decreased attack, decreased crit damage debuffs, those are going to be coming in from Ghrush. This is stage 24 of Ice Golem, because Ghrush is actually weak affinity into stage 25 of normal Ice Golem. Let's see how he does, man. And here we go against the boss, man. Let's see how we do. So, Ghrush, I've got him to prioritize his blah blah blah. He actually lands the decrease attack, the decrease crit damage against the boss this time. And so hypothetically, for a while here, we're going to be a little bit vulnerable against the boss's big old counterattacks. Now, the idea with this team is to run the Deacon and the Hikatoon for the speed aura, for the 10 meter boost, for the increased speed, all that. Try and get the Ghrush back around again to using his A2 as fast as possible, because it is a 4-turn cooldown. And so I wanted to get around again to using that as quickly as possible, with the idea that hopefully we can get up decreased attack debuff on the boss before it attacks him with its counterattack skill, which isn't going to happen. And as such, Morag dies a horrible, painful death, screaming in agony. Well done, Ghrush. I hope you're proud of yourself. We're going to switch around the team just a little bit, man. Instead of the Deacon Armstrong and his AoE decreased defense and trying to get the team firing just a little bit faster, I'm going to go ahead and replace him with the Ninja. And then we're going to run a Skuramis in the team as well, because killing the waves is now going to be a little bit slower. We're going to have a Provoker champion instead to control the waves. And we also bring in a champ in Skuramis who brings a 75% land rate decrease attack on his A2 as well, just to help the Ghrush out a little bit and get him a bit more consistent, because frankly, Ghrush on his own clearly can't be trusted with keeping your team alive against Ice Golem. He just can't. Another weakness of Ghrush that I will also stress as well, in fact, you know what, I'll wait until the Golem boss, because we might actually get to see it in action. And dear God, we make it to the boss, but with everybody like nearly half dead. Let's see how we can do this, man. So, the Skuramis just landed his decreased attack against the boss. Now, what I will stress is that, bam, Ghrush uses his A2. You'll notice that he didn't land a goddamn thing against the boss, okay? That's a problem, right? Because Grush's A2 on attack all enemies, it can land either decrease attack or decrease crit damage. You would think that if the boss already had decrease attack on it, right, placed by the Skuramis, that would mean that Grush's A2 would surely just go ahead and place the decreased crit damage, but it actually doesn't work like that. It's still a coin toss no matter what, which just bloody sucks. I don't know what to tell you, man. I really, really wish it wasn't like that. It would be so much better if the boss already had a decreased attack debuff on it, that if, well, the boss already had decreased attack, it would just automatically choose to land the decreased crit damage instead. But it doesn't work like that, which, yeah, it just sort of blows, you know. Either way, I will say that Grush's AoE heals are doing a very, very good job at keeping all of the squad alive, so that's lovely. He's doing that job for us at least. And to be fair, he did now land his decreased crit damage debuff up on the boss as well. So he's doing a little bit of something now. Again, the issue with Ghrush and the Ice Golem is that he needs some help. You need to put him in alongside the likes of a Skuramis or some of the champion that's bringing like a lower land rate, decreased attack debuff, so they can kind of complement each other to keep your team alive. Whereas an epic champion like, well, I don't know, Hitatsu, for example, kind of does everything. He brings the increased defense and basically a 100% land rate, decreased attack debuff on an AoE as well, you know, so he kind of just does all of the things, whereas Ghrush needs some help to do some of the things. I will say though, as nice as it would be to just have like a Hitatsu on this team, if you don't have access to something like a Hitatsu and you can combo a Ghrush with something like a Skuramis, then they could do an incredible job of massively just gimping the likes of the Ice Golem bosses damage. As you can see, basically 100% uptime kind of throughout the fight of decreased attack plus decreased crit damage, makes it so that even when the boss just landed a big meaty crit against the Morag, just didn't really do anything, you know? And Jesus, everything just died in one last attack before the boss eventually goes down. So, as you can see, even then, not hyper reliable. Ooh, actually not a bad little weapon, man. I think I'll go ahead and keep that one. And so Ghrush, a 4.1 at Ice Golem's peak. Yeah, I'd say that's about right. He's like pretty okay, he's pretty decent, not really reliable though, especially once you're progressing into the more difficult stages. And so what about Dragon's Lair? Well, let's take him into hard mode, man, and see what he can really do. And so welcome to stage 6 of hard mode Dragon, where we're going to be running the 3 big damage dealers that I've got on my account built out specifically for hard mode Dragon. The Estrid for just some increased speed, weakened debuffs against the boss, all of that kind of stuff. And the Ghrush is going to be replacing a Mithrala on this team. He's going to be bringing the heals, he's going to be bringing decreased attack, decreased crit damage against the boss, and yeah, going to be taking some smacks back against the hard mode Dragon boss by the time that you get there. It's basically inevitable, you just can't kill it quickly enough, you know. And so let's see if he's got enough in the tank to keep us alive in here, the same way that a Mithrala might. I will note here that he's basically useless against the waves. My objective is to kill the waves before they can really do anything to us, and so he's just going to be a warning against the waves. Oh, huge spotlight on Zygarde here, by the way, man, who just got some crazy amounts of decreased defense against all these waves with a big triple hitter A3 that she's got. Very, very saucy. And then we arrive at the boss itself, and so all eyes on Big Ghrush. He's going to be prioritizing his A2 first to get up, and the decreased defense or the decreased attack is the one that goes on up. And the boss does kind of smack. It also places a billion poisons. Ghrush doesn't bring a cleanse, of course, but what he does bring is a little bit of continuous heal buff to at least sort of like circumvent the poisons a little bit. I think if you're building your Ghrush into a hard mode Dragon like this, you're probably better off building him with crit rate gauntlets, so you get that extra continuous heal buff, right? That extra mini continuous heal buff from landing a crit. From his A3, it's probably going to benefit you a hell of a lot more. Now, let's see if we actually have what it takes here to get this boss dead before it just claps my cheeks. I do also note as well that Wallmaster Athorian is also bringing decreased attack as well. Okay, on his A2. So he's kind of got that base covered, but if I didn't have Wallmaster Athorian on this team, the point is that the Ghrush would be doing that job of just limiting the boss's damage and buying us the time that we need to get it dead, which it looks like is about to happen. And so Ghrush, as far up as into hard mode Dragon, not bad, to be honest. That was a pretty decent showing, you know. Of course, Estrid was also helping out with the healing as well, but Ghrush bringing Leech and continuous heal and decreased attack or decreased crit damage against the boss does help to buy you quite a bit of time against even hard mode Dragon boss. So, yeah. I actually don't mind him here. Next test is Demon Lord Clan Boss. Is Ghrush as good as his reviews report into Demon Lord Clan Boss? I mean, he does bring the Leech debuff, he does bring the heals and stuff like that, and so pretty good amount of healing into Demon Lord. Decreased attack, decreased crit damage are also pretty useful here too, so I can understand the ratings. I'm slotting him into a team here with It's just an amalgamation of good Demon Lord damage dealers, the Mikage paired up with the Ninja, the Akemptimus Aura Lead, and then the Freya combined with the Ghrush to offer the survivability that the team needs, right? The increased defense and the shields from the Freya, and then the decreased attack, decreased crit damage debuffs, and the healing coming in from the Ghrush. And this is where another kind of frailty of the like Ghrush into Demon Lord starts to come into play a bit as well. Now, the thing is, man, Ghrush isn't bad into Demon Lord, right? He brings some good tools into Demon Lord. He can be like your soul healer into Demon Lord. Again, just like Ice Golem, though, he can't be responsible for keeping your team alive completely on his own. There are multiple times during this fight where the 4-turn cooldown on his A2 just results in us getting smacked. Like, even right now, we don't have any decreased attack debuff or a decreased crit damage debuff even up against the clan boss. And that's not because I have too many debuffs against the boss, even though I'm at debuff cap right now. He just hasn't got around to using his A2 again. And so the Kemptum takes a massive smack and it ends up sort of cutting the run short. Now, we have such good damage dealers on this team. This team that I just threw this team together in like 2 minutes, you know, for this example. We have such good damage that this team's good enough to like 2-key Ultra Nightmare, right? This is Ultra Nightmare Demon Lord. And you gotta understand as well that the Ninja is weak hitting into Force Affinity right now as well, so the Ninja's damage is a little bit gimped in this lineup as well. This is all to say that the Ghrush can fit into a team like this with like god tier damage dealers, and you can 2-key Ultra Nightmare with the Ghrush as part of the team. But if you've been playing Raid for like 240 days, and then you get your Ghrush, and like if you've already got champions like bloody the Mikage Ninja combo to take in as damage dealers and stuff into Demon Lord, you're probably spent on the game at that point, you know, to have like such good champions so quickly in your account. Are you really needing the Ghrush, or have you got a better option? Have you got an option of a champion that brings just a straight up 50% decrease attack on like a 3-turn cooldown, you know, and you can just use that champion instead of the Ghrush, man, because it's that 4-turn cooldown that's the killer. Also, the decreased crit damage debuff is not bad on the Ghrush. It's not great either, you know, like it's fine to have, it's a nice to have alongside a decreased attack champion. And sometimes when you place that decreased attack debuff against the Demon Lord clan boss, it's basically doing nothing. Now, even though I can't show it right now because it's not currently active in Doom Tower, Ghrush does have some pretty decent uses into things like Eternal Dragon and some other PvE areas of the game as well. But frankly, we've already spotlighted him in most places, right? Apart from the most important place of all. It's time to rebuild. Because, oh yes, it is time to learn, as I dump 1 million and a bit silver doing this, oh god, to learn if Ghrush the Mangler can nuke. Yes, his speed is at like 155. Shut up, okay? Look at his crit damage, 300%. How can it be bad? And so let's just give him a quick run out, man. In some classic arena, in a full lethal build, 300% crit damage. Freya is the aura lead for the increased defense aura. She's going to be bringing an increased defense buff to the fight as well. And let's just mongo a little bit. His damage multipliers are come out at a 4 on his A3. So his healing skill, Ghrush's healing skill, actually has his best damage multipliers, which is a little bit trippy. Oh, bloody hell, I forgot about the Queen. Okay, good job. The AI is just stupid as hell and decides to attack into the Stone Skin Freya. Okay, good stuff. Anyways, there's the weaken debuff up. There's the increased defense debuff up. We're going to go with the decreased defense now. And now it is time for Ghrush to shine with this 4 damage modifier on his A3. Damage based on defense places continuous heal. We don't care about no continuous heal. Let's see how hard this thing can smack, given it can weak hit into a couple of guys. Not that great. He's coming in now with the A1 as well. Let's give him another chance. Bonk! 70k damage. Okay, dude. Let's try him against a PvE wave of enemies, man, in just Dragon, and see how we can do there as well. We're also bringing along Archmage Helmet now as well, to give the increased crit damage buff also. And so let's see what he can do, man. And the reason that I'm doing this, by the way, it's not just out of complete stupidity, although that's that's not a insubstantial part of why I'm doing this, of course. A big part of the reason we're doing this is because, I don't know, maybe you could build out Ghrush to have a 100% crit rate, because you want to do it anyway, for his A3, potentially, and therefore, maybe you want to build a bit of crit damage on the Ghrush. Who the hell knows? Just to help you out against wave content and stuff like that, because honestly, that is one of Grush's biggest selling points, is just how good he is against waves of enemies, you know. Brings all the debuffs, all of the survival, all of that good stuff. Let's see how hard he can smack, though, shall we, against this now fully debuffed, fully buffed up Ghrush, A3. 120, 130k damage. That's not too bad, and so in PvE, might be worth building him out with those crit rate gauntlets and like the crit damage amulet. You could throw that in there, I suppose, if you're exclusively using him in wave content. And against the second wave of enemies, which is coming up just now, we're going to also test out his, oh god, let's just start the A2 on the Estrid. We're also going to test out his A2 as well. Bloody hell, he's so glacially slow. Okay, there we go, man. We're going to test out his A2 as well, which is his AoE decrease attack. See how this hits? Yeah. Understandably, a little bit less. So not the weakest hitting champion that we've tested it out ridiculously in this busted or bad series. Damage numbers are okay, 100% crit rate ghrush might be your best bet, but almost exclusively in my book for using him into faction wars. Because when it comes down to it, ladies and gentlemen, ghrush the Mangler, is he busted or bad? Man, dude, I gotta say bad. I think he's not great. I've actually bigged up ghrush in the past, but actually getting to build him up myself and use him in practice just made me realize how much I was overestimating his kit. He's very, very okay and really not much better than that. And then when you give it, like, take into account how many skill books he takes to get fully booked up, and he has to be fully booked up, by the way. At least the A2 and the A3 have to be fully booked, or the cooldowns are just so long, it's ridiculous. But even when he's fully booked, you're still on a 410 cooldown on the A2. This is the real killer, man. If this could be booked down to 310 cooldown, okay, he can be in the same conversation then as the likes of Hitatsu, you know? Bloody hell. It takes a lot of bucks, and you gotta wait 240 days to get him. I feel like by the time you've got him, you should have a champion that's bringing a more reliable decreased attack debuff into Demon Lord Clan Boss, right? You should have at least one champion that's just a better specialist healer to take into things like Ice Golem and Demon Lord, right? A Rector Drath, for God's sake. Or a healer with a revive that you can also build to use not just in dungeons, but somewhere like Chimera, you know? Like a Tagore or whatever. Tagore's not a great example as a healer, but he brings a bit of healing. But you know what I mean, right? By the time you get him, I feel like if you're quite active in Raid Shadow Legends, you've probably got better answers to the stuff that you need and the content that you're stuck on than ghrush the Mangler. Now, I will say that ghrush is pretty good if you're a very, very inactive, very, very casual raid player. You log in maybe 4 or 5 times a week. You do some of your dailies. Sometimes you don't even finish all of your daily quests, you know. You're very kind of lackadaisical with your progress, whatever. Then after playing the game for like a year, you've logged in for 240 days, and you get ghrush the Mangler. And you know what? If you're still struggling with Ice Golem, you're still struggling with Dragon, you're still struggling with Clan Boss because you just haven't been very active and you've been super casual in the game, he's a decent, like, catch-all champion to help you out into all of those areas, but he's not going to be game-breaking if you've been anything approaching active. And he's certainly not worth building out in lethal gear, although a stun set you might consider, given that he does have 2 attack all enemies skills. And so excuse me while I break the bank and switch all of his gear back on over and re-equip all of those artifacts onto the rest of the gang that we stole them off of. Hey, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you guys did enjoy, man. What do you guys think of ghrush the Mangler? Have you built him out on your own account at any time? If so, how did he feel to you? Do you actually get good use out of him to this day? Did he help you progress in a certain area of the game? How did you find him? Oh my god, look at my Vulcanus' crit damage. Oh, 385. Dude, I could do a video spotlighting this guy pretty soon. Oh my god. Much better than ghrush the Mangler anyway. Thanks for watching, hope you guys did enjoy, man. And so there you have it, man. Before I leave you, make sure that if you are looking to start off a new raid account, man, anytime soon, a new free-to-play adventure or something like that, then you get it done by using my beginner promo link, which, as always, you can find down below at the top of the video description box. Thanks for stopping by, and I'm going to catch all of you all just a tad bit later, man.